We're back talking horse racing, the greatest gambling game in the world. And today we're going to be looking at the Matt Winn. It was ran Sunday after the Belmont Stakes. So we're going to see the other 3-year-olds that decided not to go to Saratoga. Apparently, they don't like upstate New York. They're Louisville people. Louisville people. Sorry, I have to say it
Yeah.
correctly.
I think that's part of it too. Like, the ship, the distance change, you get to run in a grade 3 versus a grade 1. There's a lot of factors in play, and it's still a $500,000 race, right? If you think you're going to win. So I think it's a good spot. And we get to see some horses from the Derby, which I think is good because, again, Triple Crown's over. Now we got to look to the future and where these horses are going to be going forward.
Yeah. Um, so I'm going to pull up this version of it. Further ado, the 7 was the heavy favorite and the winner of this race.
Oh
I
my
didn't
God, spoiler.
apparently. Um, I didn't think much of this race. I thought Further Ado should win somewhat easily. He ran well. I didn't see a whole lot of trouble in anybody here, so I'm gonna let you
Ooh,
show me where I missed the trouble happening.
okay.
So
No, I completely, we can just let it play as I'm going to talk over it. I completely agree. I mean, Further Ado made a ton of sense as the favorite in here. And even going back to the Kentucky Derby, if you want to pull up his kind of trip afterwards, but and even talking about the race ahead of time, it was like, what kind of trip is Further Ado going to get? Because the trip that he gets here is his winning trip. This is
yep,
when he runs a big race where he's in the clear, he's up close to a pace, he's chasing, kind of a long shot runner. He's got his main rivals behind him, maybe getting a little bit of trouble, and then he's able to do his thing.
yeah,
So everything kind of star aligned, especially, with a cutback in distance as well over a track that he has run over in the past, right? They didn't
yep,
have to ship, they had the recency, they could stay at home, 36-day turnaround, plenty of fitness, subtle trip. I think everything set up for Further Ado.
yeah. I Pavlovian was in the lead here, ends up last, so that kind of tells you what's going on in the end. I thought
Yeah, but
Pavlovian had
he's
a shot.
less. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a terrible bet at 7-1.
Yes.
Pavlovian also coming out of the Derby, but he's part of that early pace. And at this point, yes, he finishes last, but his race they wrap up, right?
Yep. Oh
So
yeah.
he's done. And his race might have honestly been over before they went in the gate. He just might have been a little bit over the top. We had kind of talked about that in terms of the Derby, where he had made that big speed figure progression going into the Derby, and it was like at some point there's going to be a ceiling,
Yeah.
and it's like it might come fast, and I feel like we kind of saw that there. So Further Ado kicks away. I thought it was a good effort by the second place finisher, our money man. I don't think he's quite on the class level. The barn's
He's
sending out
not.
some live
Yeah.
runners, but good effort from him as he makes his kind of graded stakes debut in there.
I guess the trip that I'm most confused by, and I think it started at the gate, though. I guess I can go back there and make sure of that is the two Potente,
Yeah, there's the
who,
triplers.
yeah, okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
I didn't like Potente either way. I think he's just been somewhat overrated, but I think that's what you're talking about right there is the rocking back and forth at the start and being last, right?
Yeah, he breaks a little bit slow, but he kind of did that in the Kentucky Derby as well, where he had trouble at the start and then rushed up into traffic. But this is kind of what I was saying about the difference of how Golden Tempo was ridden in the Belmont versus
Mm,
what they could have done, which is what they did with Potente, right? They broke slow, and then you could see Florent Giroux just like takes hold and just drops back. And he's just, dropping back. It's like, you probably could have been a little bit closer if you wanted to. They're not
right.
going super fast, it's average, right? It's not
Yeah.
super fast, not super slow, but you're deciding to rate off this pace and take hold, especially knowing you've got to do your homework and know
Yeah.
the horse to beat is the 7, right? Like,
Right.
I'm gonna do Golden Tempo on him in this spot, but he's still kind of like waiting. They're still under a hold. Potente wants to go, definitely could be a lot closer. I think they'll get a rider
Yeah.
change going forward. But now
Interesting.
he makes
Okay.
his move, and he makes like kind of a good little inside middle move here before going back outside. Um,
It went back outside because of Pavlovian coming
right,
back
because
into
he's
him
going.
and
Yeah, he's going
yeah.
around horses that he's got momentum going forward. The other ones are going backwards or staying in the same spot.
So I guess my bigger concern with him is like he's still going to catch our money man, or Taptastic, who, he started the run first, so maybe he just got tired, but it's a mile and a 16th. Could
Oh,
should be able to get there, right?
okay. I I think that makes sense logically, but I think when you go back and you look at Potente's races, how has he been effective?
On the lead, or at least
Exactly. So
closer to
now
the lead. Yeah,
you take a horse out of his running style and you're gonna make him a deep closer? Like,
true.
and then be like, "Okay, why aren't you being a closer?" Like,
Yes,
"Wait a minute, why is this my fault?" Like,
yeah,
what you did this to me and now this is my fault? Like, no, I don't think so. So yeah,
yeah,
I'm not you kind of agree a little bit, but you take a horse out of their running style
and they don't know what they're doing, and
and they don't run the race and they
yeah,
show run in spots and
okay,
even going back to the Kentucky Derby when we did the recap video, I was like, they need to run this horse in the Belmont because I think he does want to run longer. And I know it doesn't look like it in there, but
yeah,
maybe that'll be,
interesting.
I do think he does want to run longer. I think he definitely looks like a turf horse too, but given Baffert, we'll see. Baffert's starting to find his turf and a niche going on, but I think there's more upside. I don't think that trip
Interesting.
allowed him to show his best on the day.
Okay. I
Yeah.
I will defer to you on those every time because you know what you're doing and what you're talking about. So that's definitely something that I would say like you're that's not right, but also what you're saying is exactly right. Is that if he wants to be second or third or first most of the time, and then you're
Yeah.
making him eighth, going to be hard to just start running that way because Flaunt Giroux decided that he's going to just grab a hold of him and take him way back. That
Yeah.
that that's logical.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But he should get some fitness out of it. In terms of notes and things like that, I gave Further Ado a B plus, but perfect.
Yeah.
So it's like he had a perfect trip, but he was also pretty dominant. Our money man got a B. But again, it's a B in context, right? In a grade
Mm-hmm.
three. He steps up to grade two, grade one.
Gonna be tough for him.
He's probably not gonna be a B, right?
Yeah.
And Potente, even though he finished 4th behind Taptastic, I still gave Potente a B minus in
Okay.
in the race because I thought it was still, all things considered, I thought it was still competitive enough. Like, I I would play him back under a similar condition, right? I think he
Yep.
would be competitive. So I have to, like, translate that into some kind of language that if he doesn't show up for a few more months or somebody who doesn't do the notes, sees it, they're like, "Oh, I know what to do with this horse." Like,
Right.
yeah, that race isn't as bad. Taptastic finishing 3rd. I, he's just kind of that
Right.
plotty horse, you
There
know?
I was watching him this whole time because I was like, that's one that I kinda had a little bit of a I liked him enough in the Arkansas Derby that this made sense to kinda come back and, like, take on a grade 3 and maybe take a step forward, and seems like he's the same horse. It's just not really that level. He's a step below this, and if you're a step below a grade 3 for 3-year-olds, you're probably an allowance horse at this point, but, you do have the Iowa Derby and you have the Oklahoma Derby and those types of grade 3s that probably are better fit for him, you would think, and with Steve Asmussen, more than likely where he's gonna end up would be my guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, why not, right? He's
Yeah,
still he's still kind of running. You figure out where he fits, and doesn't seem like he's off form by any means, and probably just kind of one of those horses that maybe we'll figure it out with racing,
yeah,
or not.
or not.
Like, it's only his 4th start. His 2nd
Yeah,
start was against winners in the Grade 1 Arkansas Derby, a race that we've talked about as maybe a little bit suspect on kind of overall class, and then in the allowance on Derby Day, yeah, that's when you really liked him.
yeah,
And I was like, pump your brakes. That's a tough
yeah,
race.
yeah,
That is a
and
tough
it was,
race.
and
Yeah.
and he ran like it was a tough race, and he
Yeah.
wasn't good enough, so,
Yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
that all makes sense. So, was there any other trips in here that we wanted to look at?
I mean, not really. I think that, talked about Pavlovian. I think he's a horse that's just like, he's a little bit over the top. I think he got some good racing in him and hasn't had that time to kind of recover. And I think that's what we'll see. At least that's based on, he's run straight since basically last April.
Yep,
He had a little bit of a break going into Del Mar, but other than that, he's been running for a year straight. So wouldn't be surprised to kind of see a layoff. He's also a Calbred, so maybe at this point, and that's maybe part of that too, was like running in this spot and being like, we'll take a shot here. If not, let's just go back to California and let's clean up in these state bred
Yep.
races because he should be, class wise. Stop the Car ran okay as well. I just, I don't think he's quite on this graded stakes level, but
Right.
he's still, there's something to him. Maybe he finds kind of those other circuits to move up on, but I thought he ran fine. Corona de Oro, back to Los Alamitos?
Let's
I don't
hope
know.
so.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they need to figure out he's
He's
just
not
not as
this. Yeah.
fast. He's
Yeah.
not on the level. And same thing with Steel Imperium, who's just, I think, kind of the longest shot in there.
Yep.
Just
Just
another
not.
horse,
Yeah.
just like
I'm
he's too slow. He's
That was
not
sort of
on the
what.
level.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
sort of how I saw this race. Was Further Ado was clearly the best and should win. Like, it shouldn't be that hard for him to win. If he doesn't, then there's real issues with him. And
Yeah.
other than that, it's like, who's going to run second? Who's going to, like, is anybody going to move forward? And maybe our money man did. I think he got more of a perfect setup, though I wouldn't call it perfect, but it's like pretty close to
Yeah.
perfect. That you can label it perfect, and he's probably not going to move forward a whole lot against a better group. Maybe this is the group he wants, and maybe that's what he needs is something like this. But he's a Louisiana bred, so he can go back down to Delaware or Delta and probably clean up some Louisiana bred stakes down there.
Exactly. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
So
so that's
yeah,
pretty much Matt Winn, kind of short and sweet.
yep,
Be good to follow those. At least I think those top two for sure. See if they continue on the division. Those other horses follow them in the right spot. So
yeah, absolutely.
TLDR.
One, two, three, four. Going to HC7.